Okay, cool. Let's start. Hello, my name is Roddy Garcia. I'm a product designer here at Whiteprompt, and this is my OTT. Today, we are going to talk about the AI-based plugins in Figma that we can work with and make our life easier. So let's do some type of introduction before jumping into the plugins. So AI is a topic really important right now. It's everywhere. It's in the internet. It's in Instagram. It's in Twitter. You can read a lot about it. So I was really curious about how we can use it on our current workflow. So the first question that comes to your mind is AI going to end the designer job? And I asked to chat about it, and it says like, no, it's something that will not end the designer job. It could be a powerful tool to save some time for us, but the creativity, intuition, and critical thinking skills are from us. So that's a good point to have before starting. Then, personally, with my research, I separate them in two interesting groups. That is, one, plugins that are for content generation, and the other that is for automation. Sometimes us, the designers, don't want to think too much about the content, but we don't also want to have a lorem ipsum. So it's super great to have dummy text that is more real to explain maybe your flow or the current thing you're working on. And the automation ones are great because it saves a lot of time for you and it gives you more time to start thinking on other ideas rather than focusing on work that is repetitive and you have to spend a lot of time on it. Cool. Let's jump into another thing that I want to mention is that nothing is free. In my research, I try to work with plugins that are free. Some of them are easier to work with, and there is other plugins that are more complex and they are more advanced, but they are paid subscription. They are not that expensive, but you have to pay it anyway. So for the sake of this presentation, I only use ones that only require registration in their page or they are completely free. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to explain some use cases, and then I'm going to use the plugin. So this one is super easy to use. Is just like the first level, let's say, of complexity. Sometimes when we are designing, we need to clean an image, and some of the Google images that you can find, they are with a background. You have to manually delete that. So now we have plugins, and I did my research here on remove background and how they use AI to automatically remove the background from the images. And let's try it, how to use it. So in this use case, we are doing, let's say, an e-commerce. And in e-commerce, you have to create these little boxes that has the price and the name of the product. And you want to maybe remove this background from this image. So I'm going to select the frame. I'm going to look for the plugins that I want to use. In this case, will be remove background. I will run. And let's wait for a bit. So here it is. We saved a lot of time because like years ago, you have to do it manually and going into the shape of the image in Photoshop, then exporting to one location and then bringing that to Figma. So now it's super easy to do it here inside Figma. So let's say you copy this image, you come here, you paste it, set up the time here, and there you have it. There you have your image without the background in the card just designing. Just doing a quick check-in. Everything is sounding great, right?
Yes.
Cool. Thank you, Luna. Continuing. Then, this was like an entry level to make our life easier. But then there is another case. This is a personal project that I was working. It was for a client that works with the law, and yes, so it's like, for example, you ask for a loan from the bank, and the bank say, okay, you're not paying, so let's go into court and let's have this case where we are solving that issue. So in some of the cases, you want to have like images explaining the case, and here is, for example, Bank of America against John Strocking. So you start asking or looking in the internet for images that reflect that specific case, so you don't have one. So here's when we enter with the image creation content. I'm going to use this Summon AI to generate an image. So it will open here the plugin, and it will ask me a prompt. And as some of you may know already, with more specific information that you give to the plugin, it will give you better results. I think that's the overall rule when you are using AI in whatever situation you are using it. So let's say I'm going to have, I don't know, like a trucker, let's say, shaking hands with an employee from a bank wearing a suit, for example, to explain that we are solved the deal and you want to have an image that reflects that. Let's say I'm going to count to 4 because I want to generate 4 images, different images for this, and the resolution, let's keep it as low as possible just to make this faster. Let's generate and let's see what happens. So here's the results. And they are really nice. Where we were? Cool. So it will say, it will give you the descriptions of the prompt you use, and it will give you like B1, B2, B3, and B4. And as you can tell, it was really nice. It was like a trucker. Somehow they decided to put like a hat on this guy wearing a suit. They have the truck on the background. They are checking hands. And yes, you don't have to look like this to be a trucker. You can have a suit. You can wear whatever you want. But it was just to create a specific prompt, like the suit, the people shaking hands, and the trucker. And I think they use like the words to generate this, and these images work really well. So for me, let's use this one, for example. You can copy the properties. You can come to your screen, paste the properties, and there you have it. Maybe you can fix it for a bit. You can crop, see in the faces, see in the truck, and there you have it. And it's great because it gives you a lot of choices to use in your design. Super cool. And this was not the first. I tested this like yesterday, and they also give me these other images. So photo of a trucker shaking hands with a bank employee. Nobody has a suit. And then I tried to use the suite. I was trying to see if they come with the same images, but no, it's really different. And they are really nice, especially this one that has the guy in a suit in a blue hat. Okay, I will continue, and then we are going to have questions and answers at the end. Here we have Muse AI. The other plugin that I'm going to talk today is Muse AI. And this is also for content creation. And let's have this example of an email that is for user testing. Let's see how it works. Let's go to the plugin. Let's open Muse AI. And it will ask you about how can Muse assist you. So you can have like AI assisted copywriting. You can have the perfect headline. This is super great if you are doing an email campaign. The summarizer, also if you don't want to spend like an hour reading a page maybe, and name generation. Just for the sake of this example, I'm going to use AI assisted copywriting. As you can see here, it will ask me what is the copy that I'm going to use and what is the tone of voice. This is important because some startups like to use more like a fun and friendly and approachable tone of voice. And sometimes you work in a, I don't know, bigger company, like an enterprise or whatever, and then you want to have more formal language. So let's select this one. And it will automatically copy my copy here. And I will, let's try to use more like when I did this original design, it was more between like formal and friendly. This, let's say like funnier, for example, funny tone of voice, just to see what it generates. Generate suggestions. Let's wait for a bit. The original copy was, user testing is a research method used to evaluate the usability, functionality, and user experience of a product or service. So it's super neutral. So here is like funnier, suppose. Let's watch people use your product so we can make it even better. It's like a spy mission, but without the danger. It's not that funny, but you get the idea. User testing helps us see your product through your user's eyes. We'll find what is awesome and what needs a little love. So this is more approachable. This, I think I will use this one, but it's just for the sake of the example. Let's say something more, I don't know, formal. Let's say what it comes with. And as you can tell, it's super different. It's gain valuable insights into your product's usability and user experience by gathering feedback from your users with user testing. Like you say, sometimes you are in this moment when you're like presenting a design to a project manager or from the developers, and you want to have copy that is not necessarily lorem ipsum. This could be a helpful tool to use to have more real content, like I said earlier. So this is like the end of the entry level for me. Like content creation is great. It saves you and it gives more context to the client, to the user, and even for you as a designer or even the developers. The majority of the ones that we are here are developers. But the idea is to show you how we can use it. Now we are getting into another that is more interesting, and it's called the AI Copilot. We can use it for different I don't know, use cases. But for this one, let's use it for creating something from scratch, but with like vectors. For example, in the previous one, you use it like only words to explain. Here you can use words and actually do some vectors, so you can have the how it would look. whatever you draw. So let's say I'm going to draw a little guitar here. Let's do it really quick. Here, okay, done. Let's do the body, for example. I wanted to do this from scratch. It's not going to take time for me because I'm used to do it. But I want to see a real life example in real time and not just copy and doing something else. Here, let's close it. Done. Let's do some buttons for the guitar. Why not? And then let's do the mics. So let's do the Figma also. And that's it. Let's do some coloring here and there. Oh no, this is not the correct one. I will mute myself for a bit because there is a lot of noises in the back. We are almost done. I'm doing the strings, for example. And yes, I know it's not the best guitar, but it's the one that I can make in a few minutes. So we have our illustration, and now we are going to use a plugin that is called Ando AI. So it will ask you a reference. In this case, will be frame 2. Right? Number of outputs, let's do 4. And then let's do a prompt. So let's say blue guitar. Yes, I'm not on mute. A blue guitar over a pink background. And let's see what it comes with. So there you have it. I just draw a vector. I told the plugin what are the prompts, and it gives me a lot of options that I can use. And I think they are really useful if you are working on a project related to music. Really great. In fact, I tested before doing it in another yesterday, sorry, and it came with these images that I didn't like too much. I tried using different prompts, and I think this guitar looked better, but for me, the results on this example are better than the previous one. So yes, that's Ando AI Copilot. And the last one, we are almost done here, is HTML2 design. So this is another one for automation. more context on this. Years ago, when I started my career in product design, they were like little courses. There are not too much courses to do, and in college they didn't give you like classes for this, so you have to learn yourself. We used to use Photoshop to create the UIs, and the way you can learn was like taking screenshots of a page you use and then start drawing on top of it with Photoshop. So in this case is different now because you can have a plugin that is called HTML to design. So let's continue on this topic of guitars, and let's have, for example, the Fender URL, and you can import that, and it will take a few seconds, almost a minute. For what is this? To translate while it's loading. The idea here is to translate one website that you currently see that you like, and you will have to give the URL here to the plugin, and it will translate to Figma all the design. All the design, I mean, like if you did it on your own. So as you can tell the results here, it will give me the full design in Figma from the page that I just added to the plugin. So as you can tell, it's super great because you have the frames, and rather than, and also with the frames, it comes with auto layout in some cases. It will give you the fonts, it will take you to the images, and it will give you the same website, but if you design it, the images, the text is completely editable, even the call to actions, the footer, everything. So it's a great tool to use if you are learning how to do the spacing, the design, the shapes, also the measurements between elements in the UI. So it's a great tool to learn, and it's super fast, really fast. So that's the last plugin that I wanted to show. So right now, questions and answers. Anybody has a question right now?
Not really a question, Roddy, more like an observation. First of all really nice, really interesting tools. We should be updating ourselves and learning about AI and how can it help us be more powerful. So we are looking forward on the same path for architecture and development. We are really interested in this kind of stuff. So just an observation. Really, it's really important to get updated with this kind of tools because it leverages our capacity and the speed, and the speed in which we develop stuff. So really nice. Thank you.
Yes, great. That's the idea. Thank you, Here. And last thing before finishing, I think nobody has more questions, is that I try to do some research also in how they do it, or to see if this is really like an AI-based plugin. I have more plugins, but doing my research, I have to remove them because they were not really AI. It was just a name they used to, I don't know, to be there in the search of Google's, and some of them weren't really using AI, so I have to remove them. So that was another observation. Some of them use AI just to gain more clients. That's it for now. Thank you. And please hit the like and subscribe button. And that's it for now. Thank you so much. And see you.
Thank you, Roddy. This is really awesome
next
stuff.
time.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.